Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, I want to take a look at a little bit at one, mostly at two, of numbers 1 and 2 of the 1998 iteration of the Martian Manhunter. That's John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. This is written by John Oatrander and with art by Tom Mandrake. Before we do that, in case you haven't seen it, here's my book. Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology. Some adventure stuff, some humor, and some gags that you can get for $7.99 on Amazon. Just enter Bizarre Brain Comics and that will come right up. Okay. John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. John Jones is an alien superhero character published in DC Comics. Very seldom had his own title, but has had some mini-series and ongoing series. He was created by Joseph Samachin, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's the writer and artist Joe Certa. And he first appeared in Detective Comics number 225 in 1955, so he's been around quite a while. And he was one of the original members of the Justice League of America, and he is one of the most powerful heroes in the DC universe. He's almost on a par with sheer power with Superman, and he has powers that are beyond Superman. He has an incredible long list of powers. He has been represented in other media, such as video games, live-action TV series, animated TV series, and animated films, and even live-action films, and in merchandise. Oh, I should have got my Martian Manhunter figure out. He is a Martian who's accidentally teleported to Earth by a device created by a malfunctioning device created by a Dr. Erdl, who later dies while he's... And he has established a variety of human aliases via his shape-shifting power on Earth. But his primary human identity is Detective John Jones in Denver. And we'll see one of his other identities here too. Okay, initially, of course, he was just a bald green guy. And then, like in the 80s, he eventually evolved in the artwork as beetling brow. And we also realized that he has his natural form is entirely different from this. This is just what he assumes to be more compatible and less off-putting to humans in appearance. And then that's part of his shape-shifting ability. And of course, he is the last Martian, or more or less the last Martian, depending on the story. The last or nearly last green Martian. Now, take a brief look here at issue 1. This is kind of, even though it's just a close-up, it's kind of powerful. It has some hope, hopeful impending action. And of course, This is from the pages of JLA, and of course, this is he's on the moon here at the Justice League headquarters when it was there. And now, Mark Oatrander, Tim Mandrake. He is a fine, very skilled artist. I don't dislike his work, but he has never been a favorite of mine. But he does some marvelous work. Sometimes I have some difficulty in his reading his storytelling. Some interesting page layouts too, once in a while. And we start off with here's this thing going around beheading homeless people. This takes place in Denver. Ooh, my backyard, and he's also on this incident has killed a couple of cops because it was discovered. But he's beheading people in this. We don't know what's going on. Here is John Jones. He is former police detective, and now he's a private eye. Anyway, he's investigating because he knew the cops who were killed, and sees this thing because these people, all they're doing is finding the heads, and the bodies are gone. Well, it turns out here why. Here's this thing trying to decapitate another one. He had used a shape-shifting to bait the trap, as it were. And it turns out that this was the scientist who got a lead from Steele. He is a scientist who had been developing this years before, but he come up dead. But his body was found with his brain missing. Well, here it is. It's in this robotic body, and he calls himself the headmaster. And needs workers, so he's got these things decapitating people and then taking control of their bodies to use the bodies for labor. And fight, and the thing is defeated, but I'm sure he'll come back. Now, here's the one I really want to look at. And number 2, Antares Attacks. Same creative team. And it starts off, we're looking at a Japanese manga. And this is the story, and it's being told in first person. It's called The Jade Warrior. And this kid transforms into the Jade Warrior and fights. This is Japanese. But it's all based on the Japanese story. Character. But it's John Jones, Martian Manhunter. It's the way they have interpreted that character, and he is in Japan. And here he is in another one of his human identities that he has established on Earth as this Japanese figure in this company that he runs. And that something had been found with some kind of device. Archaeologists found that was advanced, but it was embedded in rock millions of years before. So they're investigating that. Well, then Tokyo is attacked by a giant robot thing. And John Jones goes into action, and he gets his butt handed to him by this big old robot thing. And the others said, "It's the Jade Warrior, Jade Warrior. You've got to do blah blah blah," and giving him encouragement. Okay, so he decides to embrace the manga Jade Warrior thing. He draws on mass from the planet itself to transform himself into a giant robot version of himself, and he fights the giant robot. This is why I like it. Pow, 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 bang, 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 fight, 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 destroy, 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 and then the thing sent a probe, acquired that gizmo that was found. It was part of a transceiver. It turns out this thing was John Jones uses his intangibility, goes into the giant robot. Well, it turns out it's some kind of starship with a dead crew who had been in suspended animation for millions of years, but they're all dead now. And sends out a signal, and because of his interfering, it sets off self-destruct mechanism, and he draws on all of his power, pushes the thing up into outer space where it goes kablooey, and then all is well, except it had sent a signal. Says, what was the message? Merely one word, Diana. Come. Ooh. So, I don't know if we see more of that. I imagine we probably do. It's probably a setup for a bigger plot line. But I've always liked the Martian Manhunter. I was late coming to even know who he was, because he spent various times not with the JLA, and that's when I started reading it, when he wasn't around the JLA. When you read the earlier ones, he was part of the JLA before Superman. So, but I like John Jones. I like him in the Justice League animated series. They seem to have ignored him for Super Friends. Maybe they thought he looked too weird, crazy stuff like that. And I only got these issues. I think I missed this particular series entirely, because I liked some of the earlier stuff. I just like him as a character. And that's all I've got for you this time for The Martian Manhunter. Some fun reading. Comment. Let me know what you think of The Martian Manhunter, this particular series, him as a character, him in Justice League, or on the in any of his TV and film versions. What do you think of John Jones, The Martian Manhunter? So, and please like, share, and subscribe, as well as leaving a comment. And remember, comics are art.